Let's check out this next one here from Rike Knife. Do we have an idea? It looks to be the Tissot plain titanium handle and bowler M390 steel. All right, so let's just go ahead and cut to the chase here. Let's take a look at what we are dealing with. All right, remember, this is just a quick unboxing, first reactions video. So I haven't seen this knife up until now. So let's find out what this thing is all about. And first things first, I'm already seeing a bunch of attention to detail. That's going to be a treat. I'm excited for that. You got your wiping cloth here, which is branded. You got a Rike sticker and a Rike little card right there. Check them out on IG, by the way, if you aren't already. All right, other than that, let's go ahead and see what the knife here is all about. As a matter of fact, let's take it out of the plastic bag, little Ziploc, if you would. And then let's make some room, right? So we can give this thing our undivided attention. Okay, so the Tissot from Rike. Man, I'm telling you, Rike as a company has been blowing me away more and more each and every single time. It's like they have the ability to do some crazy, wild designs that you wouldn't even believe. And this one is no different. I mean, for starters, let's just address the elephant in the room. This is an integral, however you want to say it. It is one solid piece of titanium here, in case you had any doubts. Yes, there's no pull there. That is titanium. So milling this thing from one solid piece of titanium, I mean, it's definitely going to be a more robust handle, right? More sturdy than a sandwich construction, but also it takes one whole block and then you milled from the inside. It's a lot more labor intensive, and therefore obviously the price would more than likely reflect that extra labor, the extra cost, the extra machining, just to be able to do something from a single piece of metal, in this case titanium. Another interesting piece here is in the pivot, we have this interesting looking, and it's funny because it's captive on one side, and I see a T8 right there in the middle. Kind of looks like a car rim, right? Like the rims on a car. That's what it looks like, which looks really interesting. We have some writing here on the pocket clip. It says Stylist Richard Wu. That is the name there, Stylist Richard Wu, 2024. Pocket clip is not reversible, and this one seems to have some trick up its sleeve here, this area. So I'm excited to check that out in a moment. But let's start with opening this knife, shall we? Right. First things first, that alignment. Oof. Smack in the middle. So here we go. I'm going to use, it looks like we have some thumb plates on this one, right? It doesn't look like this will be a front flipper. It's a little bit on the low side to be a front flipper. Typically that would be a little bit higher. So thumb deployment and reverse flick feels like the most natural deployment method. So bam. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so take a second to process this thing. Give it a nice little wipe there so you guys can see it, free of fingerprints or anything like that. Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at a satin finish. I mean, it looked like a belt satin finish at first, but it looks more satin now the more I look at it. A hollow ground drop point blade, right? Hollow ground drop point blade. And man, this thing looks really, really good, right? Beautiful, beautiful hollow ground coming to what feels like a very thin edge, right, to say the least there. We have an interesting fuller going on up here with a different texture, that bee blasted. Rike and Quechua, by the way, they are sister brands. They also do a really good job with, contrasting materials with one another, like the very high reflectivity shine on the satin finish versus the more opaque, bee blasted section right here on this fuller part. Then you have this whole thing right here, which is again what we're using to deploy the knife, which is also pretty good. I want to say, does this work as a, it looks like it works right here as a stop pin, like that. So this whole portion right there works as a stop when it's fully open. And we do have a liner lock on this one, so good access to the liner, by the way. Take a look. Got some jimping on it, and I'm able to easily close the blade. Man, that is, whoops, a beautiful drop blade, right? Look at that. Look at that. Very, very smooth on the drop. I want to say, again, thumb deployment feels pretty good. You can also slow, I want to say, come on now, don't make me look bad. Slow open it. Again, I'm just carrying this knife here for the first time, so you're seeing my first impressions. I'm noticing the reverse flick is a little bit on the challenging side, because where do I even begin? Like, there we go. All right, that could be a spot. So where do I even grip it from? So I notice right here, maybe, right? Ooh, that beat up my finger. All right, let's see. All right, I'm gonna have to figure out the whole reverse flick situation because it's milled the exact same way as the front side. And we do have a pretty decent detent right there. Don't get me wrong, right? It's definitely doing its job. But yeah, as far as thumb deployment, that works good. The reverse flick, again, I'm not sure because it feels like I'm just slipping off right here. So again, first impressions, I'll probably get the hang of it later, who knows. As far as ergonomics go, right, I got pretty good grip right here. This is your hammer grip, right? I have average hands, not the biggest of hands or the smallest of hands, right? I can forward choke a little bit if I wanted to, and you have good jimping right there in that whole section. All right, that's looking pretty good, right? I can rest my thumb also further forward on the blade if I wanted to. That also will work pretty good. One thing I'm noticing though is if I squeeze really hard, and this is just something to keep in mind here, if I squeeze really hard, I definitely feel some of the sharp edges on the handle, right? Like this bottom portion right here definitely has some sharp edges to it that could maybe have been a little bit more rounded off. But yeah, especially there's two areas here. There's this section, right, which is a little sharp, and then back here towards the back end is also a tad bit sharp. Again, that's if I really squeeze hard on it. I mean, I want to say ergonomics, it's a good 8.5 out of 10. I mean, in the top, you know, there's nothing to worry about. The top is perfect, right? Notice how it's nice and rounded on each side, right? That's pretty good. So maybe carrying that same mentality towards the bottom here, so it's also a little bit more rounded as well. That would have, you know, made it just a tad bit more comfortable, because then, yeah, it does kind of stab you can see some of the markings there on my hand. It definitely stabbed me a tad bit. Again, just first impression, right, situation here, if you would. But other than that, you know, good deployment there with the thumb. Not sure what's going on there with the reverse. All right, good drop shot action. And let's just do some size comparisons. Yes, I did just open it like a slip joint with both hands that moment there. So here we go. Let's do some size comparisons. The Tissot versus some of the other usuals here in the channel. There is your Manix 2, right? That's going to be a little bit shorter. Here is your Yojimbo 2. That's going to be a little bit shorter as well. Take a look. Here is the MSI from Microtech. That's going to be a little bit bigger. It's going to give it a good run for its money. Here is the Stitch from Microtech. It's also going to give it a good run for its money. It's a little bit bigger. Here's the Demko AD 20.5 and the Kunwu Chad. All right, those are going to look actually a little bit smaller too, even the Chat. All right, on the budget end of things, I got the Civivi Vision FG. I got the Kizer Militaw. All right, those are going to be shorter. Kizer Varatas right here. And the Vosteed Raccoon are going to be shorter as well. And last but not least, the CJRB Hectare Alt and the Artisan Cutlery Holm right there, right? Those are going to be a little bit smaller, but, you know, highly recommendable budget EDC knives. So chances are, hopefully you own some of those. That kind of gives you a good ballpark idea. It's certainly a large knife, right? No doubt about that. But yeah, that being said, let's of course do our very scientific cutting test, right? Let's see, we are dealing with, I think we know what steel is on here. There's one thing they do, by the way, so I don't see any, so there's the Rike logo here in the spine, which is, again, I think a perfect place to put the logo or branding. There's the model there, which for some reason I don't mind. I don't mind it there either. But then I'm not seeing what sort of metal is on here, so I'll put it on the screen, right? If it's not M390, future me, what model is it? Let me know. It'll be right there on the screen, right? So scientific cutting test time. I got some paper, I got some cardboard. All right, let's see how it does with the paper first. All right, that's one thing about Rike knives. They are not messing around. They are super sharp, all right? So they're gonna cut really well. And keep in mind, this is a factory edge. So even though it's, you know, the factory edge has seen some use already, got to get a good initial bite. There we go. Yeah, it's gonna cut paper, right? You get the idea there. As far as cardboard goes, you got a single wall cardboard here, just a random piece from some everyday cardboard. Remember, when cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular, but rather at an angle. It should look something like this. Here we go. Again, the hollow ground putting in some work. There we go. So factory edge has seen some use already, right? Seems to be holding up pretty good so far. Or maybe hold on the strap just yet. But you guys rate in the comments on a scale from 1 through 10. How sharp is this guy? How much of an edge has it retained? Let me know. Now, time to check what you guys have probably been waiting for, right? If you know anything about Rike knives, you know they often have, especially some of the more recent models, right? They have sort of built in some sort of trick up their sleeve. And I'm right now seeing this line right here, right? I'm thinking this line maybe has to do something with this shell, and which is funny because at the beginning of the video, I gave you the whole spiel about how this thing was, the whole thing was milled from one piece of titanium, which is, again, typically the case with a full integral. But here we go. This is the part where I, in a way, eat my words. There's a little bit of a switch there. I'm going to undo that switch, which was surprisingly easy to do. All right, very easy to actuate and disengage. And then, in theory, I should be able to just pull up this section here, so you can see. All right, making sure I keep my, there we go. Oh, okay, there we go. So that's the trick. In order to take it off, you just push it forward and bam, there we go. So, I mean, I kind of, here we go. Yes and no, yes and no. So is it an integral in the traditional sense of the word? Not necessarily, because it's actually being made from multiple pieces. But this part right here, right, this section is an integral, right? They didn't glue this piece together. It was actually milled. This whole section was actually milled from one solid piece of titanium. So in a way, yeah, yes and no. It depends on how technical you want to get with it. But, you know, obviously some of the benefits with having that whole turtle shell, if you would, is, there is the edge right there, right? So it kind of gives you protection from that. Also keeps a bunch of gunk and pocket flint and crap that will get in there otherwise if it was just a sandwich construction. And also gives you a very clean look, right? Because I'm not seeing hardware, right? So the actual hardware here on the pocket clip you can do, right? Just from the outside. And aside from that, there's a little bit of a little lanyard post right there, but that's about it. I don't see any other hardware pretty much anywhere else. So this is very, very interesting. I'm thinking in order to disassemble this knife, you probably have to go through the actual pivot, and then you get a chance to kind of sort of pull the pieces apart, because I don't see hardware anywhere else. So that's a pretty neat trick that it has going, again, underneath the sleeve there. So in order to put it back, just got to slide it back like that. Keep in mind, this little section here has to slide into these little grooves or teeth, if you would, in the front. So as long as I line those up, everything else lines up pretty good. And then I have to remember to slide the little switch forward, and we're good to go. We're back to one solid piece, one full knife there. This, again, is the stuff that Rike really excels at. Not a lot of people out there doing that, that whole transformer, take this piece off like that without tools sort of deal, right? Rike is, my perspective, at least from what I've seen in the knife world so far, one of one probably companies that have, you could call it a gimmick, right? But it's actually pretty useful if you could do that by just flipping a switch there. You can, really get at your knife. As compared to, honestly, think about it. If this was a full integral, then, it will be, maybe the whole cleaning process will all be through here. Or with this, being able to take it off, you can get another angle in there for cleaning purposes. So definitely an argument to be made. I definitely like what they're doing there. I'm not entirely sold on this whole deployment. It works for thumb deployments, but I still haven't figured out how it works for reverse flick. So we don't have any other deployment methods. But guys, again, this is just a quick overview, quick unboxing, right? You just saw me take this knife for the first time out of a box. Obviously, I'm going to carry this knife here for some time. I'm going to gather as much feedback as I possibly can, and then I will be coming back to you with a comprehensive review here in the channel. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one, either this one or this one. Peace.